So today I want to talk about today we're going to talk about Camille Cupcake McKinney. Camille actually disappeared from a housing project in Mobile, Alabama in 2000 late 2019, I believe it was. I remember this case well because at the time I lived about 45 minutes away, and I remember when they put out the description of the vehicle. My ex and I were going to the store and we thought we saw it. He was like, there's that sequoia. That sequoia is right there, but it was the wrong color. It wasn't the right vehicle, or it wasn't a sequoia. Um, so I remember this case. I remember following this case closely as it was going on. And I just want to take a look back since some new information has come out in the prosecution phase, because they are in the prosecution phase now. They haven't gone to trial yet, but the case has already reached that point to where trial is the next thing that's going to happen. Okay, sound check. Ooh, let me do a sound check a different way because all I got on that was echo, but I think it's feedback. So let me do this real quick. It'll only take a second. I just want to make sure that I don't have a lot of like echo and background noise going on or whatever. Okay, so it's clear. All right, sound is clear. So the first thing I want to show is this video is the actual abduction of Camille McKinney, and it's kind of a little hard to see what you're looking at since it's black and white and it's not the best quality, but you'll see some small figures moving around. Apparently, Camille was at a birthday party for another child, and it was just after dark, and these children were outside playing in like an open area. It wasn't a park, but it was like an open area near, behind, or either in front of uh, the apartment building, like between the apartment building and the parking lot. Because what you'll see is right under the numbers 10/12 in the date, that's a parking lot area. Those are cars over there. The apartment building will be toward the right of the screen. Um, what you're seeing is a video camera from another apartment or another house near the apartment complex. All right, so you'll see like the small figures, those are the kids are at the birthday party, and then you'll see some adults walking too. And that's Camille, the one to the left there, in the kind of lighter colored clothing. And you see both kids walked off with that adult. They cut the video kind of short, but one of the children actually walks back toward the area where they were playing. Okay. Now, this is a video. This is Camille's family speaking after she went missing.
Only on WVTM 13. It has been 3 days since family members laid Kamille McKinney to rest. The 3-year-old girl was found dead last week after disappearing the week before, and family and friends are now facing unimaginable grief. WVTM 13's Bria Douglas joins us tonight. And Bria, family members are still wondering, why did this happen to her?
Right.
Okay, that's the wrong video. This one actually comes. This one comes a little bit later on. Here is the video that I want to play. Let me switch this up.
Discovery last night in Birmingham, Alabama. The body of 3-year-old Kamille McKinney was found in a pile of trash. The girl, nicknamed Cupcake, was kidnapped earlier this month outside a birthday party. 2 suspects are facing murder charges. Mark Strassman has more on this heartbreaking case.
It's a tough moment for our city.
Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin talked about Kamille McKinney, a little girl with a big winning smile. This community now mourns for her family.
Your grief, your tears, your pain is not ignored.
Kamille was last seen at this apartment complex October 12th. Surveillance video shows her playing with a friend. As you can see, they followed a man, and Kamille vanished. Police zeroed in on this Toyota Sequoia, spotted the same day by security cameras at this nearby gas station. Its driver, 39-year-old Patrick Stallworth, and his girlfriend Derek Brown were initially arrested on other charges. Stallworth for possessing child pornography on his phone. Police found Kamille's body in the local landfill yesterday after tracking trash from her neighborhood. The couple now faces capital murder charges. Birmingham Police Chief Patrick Smith.
This was something that they thought about, and they saw an opportunity to take a young child, which they did.
There is no known motive, only bewilderment and outrage. And at City Hall, people here who never met the little girl felt like grieving together.
It's heartbreaking, especially when you have kids and grandkids of your own.
There are 2 other vigils for her planned tonight here, and at dusk, Nora, City Hall will be lit up in purple, the little girl's favorite color.
Such a difficult story to cover, Mark. Thank you.
Hello, I see a couple of people in here. Welcome to the chat. Just going over the Kamille Cupcake McKinney case from about just over 2 years ago. Because at the end, I'm going to give some new information. This is just kind of a refresher to get everybody up to speed since the case is a little bit older.
It's gonna be spring break or summer, and I feel like our kids shouldn't be afraid to play. So I mean, I feel like during her birthday because it's spring break, educate. I just want to educate them on stranger danger awareness, to make sure this don't happen again, so our kids can be safe and let them know that people like that are not allowed in our communities.
You see that it does happen in the community. That was just what comes to mind. I mean, I know it hurts, but I mean, what comes to your mind on what makes it hurt?
I mean, sometimes it's like reliving again, like I'm reliving it over again, and the pain of seeing the other parent is like, I can imagine it because I just lived it. I'm still living this nightmare, so it hurts to see that the community still, the community, we got to stand strong, and the only way we can fix this if we get together and we do it ourselves.
And no more waiting on the proper aspect of the community.
Community, back to old Southern hospitality. Neighbors, we're more than just neighbors, we're family.
What's your day to day like now?
I mean, it's rough. I mean, I have good days, I have bad days, but it'll never be the same again. You know, I can't wake up to her smiling at me or waking me up, her hugs, her kisses. So it's rough.
What you getting through?
Yeah, I I get through. It's just God.
A lot of prayer
Yeah.
from the friend, family, and in the community. How do you feel about that? There's think the last time I was here, the church they were donating food and clothing. They were singing outside. Other organizations. How does that make you feel that there's part of the community that, like, not even the community, the state? Um,
I mean, I'm very grateful, that they let me know that, people care, about what happened. And, all that stuff is nice. And, but it's the fact of what we're going to do to prevent this from happening. Like, even though you get those donations or gifts, it like, okay, it still doesn't bring our kids together. It still doesn't make the community better. So it's like I'd rather see more events towards trying to push things to be better, education for our children or fun, safe events for our kids to be able to go to and enjoy themselves without someone being shot or kidnapped or hurt.
enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
It's beyond time. Um, would you say
And that was Camille Cupcake McKinney's mother. That was her first interview after everything had kind of come down. You could tell she was still really stressed out, doing the best she could to try to answer those questions. Now, I didn't have this video, this next one on the lineup, but I remember this video. This is Camille's father. So I want to go ahead and play this one.
Yesterday around about 10 minutes to 9, and I got a call saying my daughter was missing, that she was attending the kids' party. And I waited a few moments. I gave a little time, called back 3 minutes later, and the police went to text stuff here. And then that's when they said my daughter just was abducted, missing. For the most part, I just want my daughter back. I pay anything, I put up anything, anybody that know anything what's going on. They know my daughter, everybody know me. They know Cupcake. You know anything going on. You know me, you know I put up anything to bring that baby back home. I just really most important on getting my baby back.
Describe what overnight last night was for you. I'm sure you didn't get much sleep.
Well, I ain't gonna get no sleep. I've been out all night. I looked through everything around here, every empty school, every abandoned building, and I won't stop. I won't stop. It's gonna be an all week thing. I got my own family. I got folks looking. I got folks looking right now. I got folks looking Center Point, everywhere. But if anybody see anything, if anybody see Cupcake, please bring me my Cupcake back home. I'll do anything to get Cupcake back.
Tell us what she's like.
Cupcake, you really won't know if she like. She not friendly. That much I do know, so kind of got me feeling some type of way. But she's a good little girl. She's sweet. She's real lovable. Everybody like Cupcake, and she's just a pretty little girl. When you see her and she got the most prettiest eyes, so you're gonna run up to her anyway. And she just got a lot of family and a lot of people that care about her. Most important part that she's just a good girl. She's just a baby. And whatever the situation is, whatever they got going on, it don't concern her or whatever they had going on over here in these projects. I really don't know. My most concern is getting this baby back home. And if the public can help me find out with my daughter, that I'll be more than thankful. I'll be more than happy to pay whatever. I just want my baby to come back.
What
And
would
I
you
won't
say?
stop.
What would you say to the person who has her?
What would I say to the person that have? You really want to know?
Probably not.
I do? I mean, this is a parent's worst nightmare. Um,
But right now, I don't know who have her. So I really can't say what I do. But I would just call y'all if I would see my daughter. I call, let the authorities know, and like I said, we own it. I got folks looking. If we see her, we following them, we calling y'all. You know what I'm saying? To the person who did do this, like, it's sick, man. There's no going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what justice would a 3-year-old girl do you?
Mm-hmm.
Especially you're a grown man. Like, what justice would that do you?
Like I said, this
But
is a parent's worst nightmare. Just I wanted to get back. Just how are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm feeling.
Yeah. How
Oh
are you
man,
how are you getting through this right now?
it's a hard thing to swallow because I ain't never been without Cupcake. Like all my life, I've been in my children's life. Like both of them, her and Amara, like they know me. They used to see me on a daily basis. My daughter know her dad. Like ain't no random guy gonna ever just walk up to her and be like, "Come here," cause she know me. She know all my cars. She know every like I ain't never been out her life. Period. At all. So
You're just getting by day by day.
just day by day. You know, right now it's fresh. It just happened. So I'm hoping for the best. Like I ain't thinking worse like nothing happened. I'm just thinking she just somewhere somebody just got her. That's what I'm praying. I know my baby safe.
What did police tell you as far as an update with this case today?
Well, last night I went and met with the people at the administration building, and they told me that they had someone in McDonald's or somewhere like that in Roebuck with a baby with that fit that description, and they told me that they had to get the manager to come pull the cameras and went to the house with the SWAT team. They said that that wasn't the baby. So that mission failed. And somebody else just put a dominant post on Facebook saying that they were chasing the truck. So, we I see all through that, I see all through that. So we're gonna find her. We're gonna find her. That's the last thing I do on this earth. We're gonna find her. Like to the person that do got her. Like I will find out what's going on. I will find out.
Why
If you
do you
know
think
me,
someone would do
I mean, like I said, man, I come all the way from over here and we know in the pilot area. I don't come over here at all, man. I wouldn't know what they had going on over there. Sorry about that, sir. I wouldn't know what these folks had going on over here.
that? Where does Cupcake live?
My daughter
Not
stays
not
with
address, but area.
Coca stay in South Avenue, over there like Crestwood Boulevard way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cupcake, this ain't that girl. She ain't the girl that's gonna just go, you know, get in the car with no anybody. So right now it's just a puzzle situation, but for the most part, we're gonna pray, we're gonna hope for the best. I this the first for me. I got 4 kids, I never had nothing like this happen to me in my life. But by any means, if the police don't find, I have to put it in my own hands. I will find my daughter.
It does seem like that you have a lot of support as far as family and
Yeah,
friends, which is
got a
really
lot of
important right
family,
now.
like people on it. And we see it, we're gonna get them.
And how does that
And
make you feel to know that everybody here is in the community helping you guys?
it makes me feel good. And I want to appreciate you all too. And Carol, appreciate you. You've been here. You've been holding down last night. You saved me about 3 times. I could have been tased or something, kind of.
You are kind of strong.
But I'm holding well. I got a little hour worth of sleep. I couldn't sleep long. That phone ain't stopped ringing yet. So but everybody looking for Cupcake. Everybody know Cupcake. Everybody know me and these children. You know,
How'd she get her name?
it's just something I came up with. She came out, she was all cute and red with the little brown eyes, just like it's my Cupcake. So I always call the Cupcake. I got it tatted on me right here. I'm kind of ashy. I just jumped up, took a bath, but
Oh, I see it
say
right there.
Cupcake. That's a
Yeah.
cupcake with a little chair on top. This is my first daughter. It's my first daughter. She don't know nobody but me. She don't whatever they have going on over here. This got something to do with this. But for as anything else, I wouldn't even know.
How are you feeling towards, I guess, the homeowners that, I guess, or whoever was responsible for your daughter at the time she was abducted?
You wanna know how I feel? Is it okay? As long as I don't use profane language.
Mhm.
That's how I feel. She's only been here a couple months. She's been toured with a few people over here. She's unfit. Hell, you look at her house, look at her back door. Look at all the other doors around you. You can tell they run in and out all day and don't watch the children down here. Here, the doors hanging up the hinges. Everybody else screen doors on.
Is that a family member or a?
It's her cousin. And I always tell her, I don't like my children to be over here because I know the way her cousin is. Her cousin really don't watch her own kids. And it be a lot going on in her household. But at the same time, I'm not gonna just down my baby mama because right now we don't know.
Right.
We don't know the situation.
How's she
My
doing?
baby mama, well, since last night we left the headquarters together. I haven't spoke with her. They wouldn't let her talk. But what I will say is she do work every day. She been on her job for a quite bit long time. And my baby mama really she ain't never been the type of girl that let this happen. Like I said, it don't happen if it came here. If they came here, something like this happened. But on her own time, you know, I can't control what she do. We not together no more than that like that. But it wouldn't happen on her own time. If she was at home, I feel like if my kids were at their own house and they was outside playing or something, you know, this wouldn't happen. But it's just ironic that my child come up missing out of all probably 50 kids out here running around in the same vicinity. But you know, we're gonna pray for the best. You know, it ain't about all that. I ain't gonna get on here and, you know, do all that. This ain't what this for. You know, we're gonna pray for the best, and for the most part, I just wanna keep the people on this and find my baby. You know, she 3, she scared, she lonely. You know what I'm saying? She don't know what's going on. You know, so I just really wanna bring her home. If I gotta put the mind up, whatever I got to do. If anybody know anything, just call and tell me when my baby, it's too much stuff going on already. It's enough going on. So, you know, what said is understood. You know, that's about just all I got to say. But it comes from here. It comes from here.
Thank you,
That's
Dominic.
where it all started, at that project right there.
I hope you get all the answers that you're looking for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean,
It's a hard pill to swallow. You know, that's my baby, but I ain't gonna give up. Last thing I do is fail. I want to give up on it. I ain't gonna sleep till I know something. I ain't gonna stop till I know something. I need something to go on.
do you feel like the police are helping out though? I know they're giving you updates every once in a while, but do you feel like they're
I mean, I ain't gonna say the police not doing their job. Shit, look at all the stuff go on all day.
right?
You know what I'm saying? When you got 2 people getting killed over here, you got one just got killed around there, you got a couple of businesses that got robbed around, the baby got kidnapped. It is kind of hard to get, you know, but I mean, as far as I know, they've been doing their job. They've been out here all night because I've been out here all night with them. And I was walking around here and they did pull up on me. You know, I told them I'm the father, you know, they know what's going on, but I feel like they doing their job. I don't feel like they not doing it. They've been here since last night. And, you know, sometimes it take them a little while for them to put like an amber alert out. They move kind of fast with this, so I really do appreciate it. That I can say.
I mean, everybody got that alert yesterday. I got the alert
Like
around
they captain,
10, 11.
whoever they lieutenant is, he been on it. When the ship changed, he had them here. They've been sitting right there all night. I've been watching them. They've been helping out a lot. I mean, it's fresh. So basically everybody's still in the mode where they trying to put everything together, see what's really going on. It's really not too much to go off of. You can't really get nothing out of somebody that ain't gonna want to tell you nothing but beef with you. You know, like I can't go to her cousin and talk to her and ask her what's going on because they not focused on finding my daughter. They more focused on the drama. So it's like right now I'm at nothing. I'm just out here some project that I don't come to, don't be at, looking for my daughter and don't know what you know what I'm saying, where to start, you know. But like I said, I will find out. Like I will.
You have every divine right to it. I mean,
Like
that's your child, man. But no, I appreciate it.
they could have took her to Jupiter. We're gonna find.
I'm praying for you, man.
Thanks so much.
No problem.
What's up, Rob? Welcome to the chat. So I'm actually glad I played that one because it was the full interview. I've seen like parts of that interview before, which is why I wanted to play it, but I've never seen the actual whole interview, and he spoke some real things, and I really like the way that he handled himself under that pressure, because I think that was like the next day after Kamille was hey Ra, glad to see you as always, one of my regulars, I love it. um but I think that was the next day after Kamille had been taken, and for a father who's active in his children's lives to um be under that kind of pressure, that kind of stress and shock, and to be able to handle and comport himself the way he did in that interview, you know, I really commend him. I especially commend the way that he wouldn't come down on his baby's mom, you know, because a lot of news would have been on there, oh, that this, that, and if she and she's so trifling and just everything they could think just out of anger. So let's move on to the next video. I'm not going to play that one. And we're going to get into the suspects who were arrested in connection with Kamille's disappearance.
Wheels of justice are starting to turn in the kidnapping and murder of 3-year-old Kamille McKinney. Good evening, I'm Sherry Jackson.
I'm Jack Royer. The Jefferson County DA announced the charges today for Patrick Stallworth.
They did find Cupcake. I believe it was 2 weeks or so after she went missing, and unfortunately, she was deceased.
And Derek Brown, now both are in the Jefferson County Jail. Tonight, we have team coverage. CBS 42's Malik Rankin went to Tom Brown Village discussing safety with the housing authority there. But we begin tonight with Corey McGinnis and the latest on the fast-moving investigation, Corey.
Yeah, Jack, good evening. Well, charges came down today for Brown and Stallworth. Stallworth's family actually released a statement really expressing their grief for the McKinney family, but he was also transported to the jail here behind me, and our cameras were rolling.
Stallworth, did you do it?
With little to say and a quick glance at our cameras.
What message do you have for Cupcake's family?
Patrick Devon Stallworth was taken into custody at Jefferson County Jail and charged with capital murder, along with Derek Arisha Brown in the death of Kamille McKinney, known as Cupcake, Thursday night.
Both Stallworth and Brown will be transported to the Jefferson County Jail and held on a no bond.
Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr announced the criminal charges Thursday evening. The 3-year-old was abducted while at a birthday party in the Tom Brown Village community earlier this month. Her remains were found 10 days later inside of a dumpster at a landfill Tuesday evening. Stallworth's family released a statement to the media expressing their grief to the McKinney family and how they're distraught that a member of their family is charged with this heinous act. Quote, Patrick was reared in a family with strong values. The actions he is alleged to have done in no way reflect who we are as a family. We ask that our family not be judged by the actions of one individual. We abhor senseless violence, and even more so, we condemn acts of violence against defenseless children. We will continue to pray for the McKinney family. For us, this too is a tragedy, end quote.
Our thoughts and prayers continue to be with the family as they grieve the loss of Kamille.
In 2018, Brown was charged with 3 counts of first-degree kidnapping after she took her 3 children from a foster home at gunpoint after she lost custody of them. Stallworth previously pleaded guilty to possession of marijuana in 2004 and spent 30 days in jail. So the question is, what happens next? Well, Brown and Stallworth will have to navigate through the judicial system. Once they seek representation, that's when we'll be able to ask them the tough questions. We're live in Birmingham tonight. Corey McGinnis, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
Corey,
hey, PJ,
thank
welcome
you.
to the chat.
McKinney was abducted from the Tom Brown Village, and a week from Halloween, the Birmingham Housing Authority is taking steps to make the holiday safer for children. CBS 42's Malik Rankin is live in studio with what changes they're making.
The Birmingham Housing Authority tells me they're working on organizing a trunk or treat event in Tom Brown Village for Halloween. They hope this will put parents at ease, knowing the kids will be in one area instead of walking around in the neighborhood.
Why, Mommy? Why her?
These are the questions parents are left to answer about Kamille Cupcake McKinney. For Natea Everhart and her daughters,
I love her.
Cupcake's story is personal. The girls had play dates together.
We used to play tag.
Natea will be taking her girls to church to celebrate Halloween. She says this way her family won't have to stress over what can go wrong.
People being devilish and things being found in candy and things of that nature.
The Birmingham Housing Authority brought in counselors to help families process all that has happened to Kamille "Cupcake" McKinney. Tiffany Elliott says the best way to stay safe on Halloween is to have a plan.
Some type of boundaries. So, and common sense. Sometimes not all kids need to have a mask. Go in groups that you're familiar with. Maybe keep the events within your neighborhood.
While families trick or treat next week, concerns over safety are even more of a priority.
Where is she? Where did she go?
Up there.
The Birmingham Housing Authority tells me there will be police patrolling through the Tom Brown neighborhood on Halloween. They hope to get more information on security measures in the days ahead. Live in studio, I'm Malik Rankin, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
Malik, thank you. Former Birmingham Mayor Richard Arrington Jr. spoke about Kamille McKinney today. Arrington says her death has affected the entire city.
It leaves us filled with anguish. It inflicts us with suffering and pain, and it challenges us.
Birmingham's former mayor also said that he hopes that from this tragedy, the city of Birmingham will build a stronger community.
This was personal. It's a little child, and everyone wanted to do everything they could at that time to bring this baby back.
That's Police Chief Patrick Smith, who joined CBS 42 morning news anchor Art Franklin to discuss the McKinney case as the city of Birmingham continues mourning. You can see the full interview at cbs42.com. All of our coverage of Kamille McKinney continues right now on cbs42.com, including the full news conference from today and more with the community.
This case is just so
Only
sad
on WVTM 30.
because of how totally random it is. Hey PJ, if you didn't hear me earlier, welcome to the chat. Glad to see you in here today. But I mean, it was just so random. She wasn't targeted. No particular child was targeted. This was just evil walking around looking for a victim, and it's crazy. She just happened to be the one. It could have easily have been, you saw on the first video where there were two kids that actually followed that person out toward the cars. It could have easily have been the other child. The evil didn't have a name on it that day. It didn't have a face on it. It was, how does the saying go? Walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom it may devour. And that's what happened that day. Evil was just walking around looking for a victim. We're gonna do two more. One more video. And this is from about 8 months ago. This was the Birmingham police chief talking about Kamille McKinney. And it's relatively short. It's only about a minute long.
Retailers like Amazon and Target. You can drop prices.
Honestly, the very first day this happened, we knew that this was going to be a very significant event for the city. We recognized it almost immediately. And, we dedicated every resource that we had the very first day to make sure that we were trying to corral this thing as fast as we could. The main thing that it did was impacted the way we communicated with the media and also with the public. We wanted to make sure that you guys were receiving the information that you need to keep the public informed, because everyone was concerned and no one wanted to see the outcome that we had. We all remained hopeful that she would be just fine. It takes all of us to work together to make sure that these things don't happen again, and decrease the moments of opportunity. What they did was they had this action they wanted to do, but they would not have been able to do it if just that one moment in time of opportunity wasn't there. And so what we've got to do is to close in on that moment in time and opportunity to do everything we can to prevent it from happening again. You know, honestly, we all remained hopeful until the very last day. We were, you
I'm sorry, I must have been looking at the commercial time. This is actually about 7.5 minutes long.
know, just doing everything that we possibly could to try to appeal to the person or persons at the time who was responsible. We really wanted her to come back home safely, and we really wanted to give them an opportunity to, you know, if she was there, if she's alive, if she was fine, to let us know and let's facilitate a safe passage for her to be returned back to her family and to the community. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. You know, we kind of had the inclination early on. We had, in working with the FBI, Johnny Sharp and his team, we knew that early on that this was her and that we were going to have to reveal this news to everyone. And so it was just a matter of time to whereas we settled on a message to step up and, you know, deliver the difficult news to family first and then to the public of the tragic outcome of this horrific event. I think everyone was on an emotional roller coaster with this thing, and with hopes, prayers, and just following it. As you know, we had officers who worked probably a good 200 or more hours in overtime, some who wouldn't go home, who just wanted a positive outcome on that day.
I want to take a second and just say I really commend police officers, especially those who work with homicide cases, that have to go out and tell these families that, hey, your loved one is no longer here. Because y'all know I'm a crybaby, right? I'm over here about to cry now again listening to this. You know, I boo-hooed like a big dog when this all happened, and here I am about to cry again just thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting here imagining how the mother and father must have felt when they were sitting there and got this news. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that when they opened the door and saw those officers standing there, they could feel the vibe that this is not what I want to hear before anybody even opened their mouth. So I commend these officers that work these kinds of cases and can handle informing loved ones of a loss like this in a way, you know, that doesn't have them ready to, I mean, just, I don't even really have the words to say, but y'all know what I mean.
Day. And it was very difficult to just step up and have to deliver the very bad news. In many of the instances such as this, it's always difficult to deliver that very bad news to family, even just in your regular case, to whereas there is a loss. But in this instance, we didn't know, and so we wanted to maintain hope. We wanted to deliver her home safely, and so just to pass on that news just is just heartbreaking, to be honest with you. I think it changed the department for the better. I think this incident, combined with the loss of Sergeant Latasha Carter, changed a lot of what we do, changed how we police the city. I don't know if you remember, I required every officer to go through training every other month to make sure that we were updating all training, perishable skills, making sure that we were all on the same page as it relates to handling the business of the city. Coming up soon, within the next couple of weeks, we'll open our real-time crime center. With that, we included many of the things and gaps that we saw in our systems and law enforcement. We've upgraded our body-worn cameras for remote access. We also included license plate reader technology, cameras, just a number of things that we've done to upgrade this department and upgrade us on a technological level so that we can respond more swiftly to this type of event. We'll have an instant command post right here in the police headquarters building so that we can move very quickly to start assessing the situation, assessing where we are, looking at the various avenues, downloading video, and also providing updates to officers in real time. This is definitely there in the top of everything in terms of the desire of an entire department, the desire of the city, the state, and even our federal partners to work with us to bring this thing to an end and try to bring her home safely. I think everyone was emotionally invested in this particular case. The thing that I would say is it's very unfortunate that tragedies of this nature happen, especially to someone so young who never had a chance at life. But I would say to the citizens of this city that from that moment, we have definitely assessed where we were and tried to close every law enforcement gap to make sure that we're able to meet the needs of the city and also to improve the services that we provide to every citizen. And the last thing I'd say, even to the Cupcake family, to her family, that our prayers are still with you, and we still mourn her loss with you. I thank you guys also for the professionalism that was shown to the family, and working with us to get the information out that's needed, and working with us to try to ascertain whatever leads we can, and so that's definitely appreciated.
So that was the last video. And so now we come to the major update in the case. And that is that the headline reads, the suspects in the deadly kidnapping of Kamille Cupcake McKinney will not face federal death penalty. All right, just hold on one second. This site is telling me that I need to turn off my ad blocker. So let me get that done real quick so that I can share this story with you. I'm surprised it didn't tell me that a lot sooner. I would have already had it done. It really is so horrible. Like, it just doesn't even make sense. Like, for somebody to do something like this to a child, just an innocent baby. Like, and I haven't shared the details of the case, but if you go and look at the arrest affidavits for Stallworth and Brown, the things that they did to this child, and I'll sum it up. I won't go into detail, but she was kidnapped. She was drugged. They found trazodone, methamphetamines, and some other things in her system. She was, according to both of the suspects, she was sexually assaulted, suffocated to death, and thrown into a trash bin. And for anyone to just, this baby, you know what I'm saying? A baby. The article reads, federal authorities won't seek the death penalty in the 2019 deadly kidnapping of Kamille Cupcake McKinney. Patrick Stallworth, 42, and Derek Arisha Brown, 31, were indicted federal. That is worded so odd. Were indicted federal of kidnapping and conspiracy to kidnap a minor. The decision whether to seek the death penalty in federal court was up to the U.S. Attorney General, authorities said at the time of the pair's federal indictment in 2020. On Thursday, federal prosecutors filed notices that the U.S. will not seek the death penalty against Stallworth or Brown. If convicted federally, they could face life in prison without the possibility of parole. A federal trial date has not been set. A state trial date has not been set, but Jefferson County prosecutors said they intend to seek the death penalty. A gag order in the state case remains in effect. Stallworth and Brown, who were in a dating relationship for about a year before their arrests, have since blamed each other for Kamille's death. The 3-year-old became a household name as a 10-day search for her gripping Birmingham and all of Alabama. 1 minute she was playing at a birthday party with other children. The next she was gone. Kamille was abducted October 12th, 2019, while at a birthday party in Tom Brown Village. Kamille's disappearance gripped the city for 10 days until her remains were found on the night of October 22nd in a trash dumpster at the Jefferson County landfill. An autopsy conducted by the Jefferson County Coroner's Office showed Kamille had died of asphyxiation by suffocation. The exam also turned up toxic levels of methamphetamine and trazodone. The levels of the drugs indicated Kamille had ingested the drugs and not just been exposed to them. Testimony from previous hearings shows investigators removed a plastic covering from a mattress that was in the living room where the couple lived in Center Point. The covering showed blood in several places, and testing of that blood showed a mixture of DNA belonging to Stallworth, Brown, and Kamille. Brown said she saw Patrick kneeling on the sofa in front of Kamille, forcing the girl to perform oral sex on him. Stallworth told detectives that he walked into the couple's apartment and saw his girlfriend sitting on the couch with Kamille and said, "That's not your child." He said Brown indicated that she wanted to, quote, keep Kamille, and then suggested Stallworth, quote, do something sexual to the child. More than 800 people attended Kamille's funeral at New Beginnings Christian Ministry, with 400 plus more in an overflow. This 3-year-old has Herculean powers, former Birmingham Police Chief Patrick Smith had said. She's unified a city. She's brought the city together. I think she touched a chord within the city, Smith said. This was a how dare you crime. How dare you touch our children? How dare you disrespect our community? I think that's why it touched the chord. Kamille McKinney wasn't someone famous or someone we all knew about before October 12, 2019. She was a sweet, caring 3-year-old girl. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Lloyd Peoples previously said. During the 10-day search for Kamille McKinney, we saw law enforcement and public safety organizations at their finest. They do. They need to do something. Like I just don't even feel like this was his first time offending like this. And then the Derek chick, she's already kidnapped her own children at gunpoint from foster care. So she's obviously a violent person who just really don't give a flying flip about the law or people or other people's safety. This is a crime that never should have happened, because if I recall correctly, Stallworth also has a lengthy criminal history. He's not a saint. He's not one of those people where you see his family's immediate reaction was to disavow everything about him. They didn't even come out and say, we never would have expected this from him. This is a shock to us all. What they came out and said was, look, don't judge us based on him, because he ain't got nothing to do with how we are. We ain't even that type of people. Let him stand on his own. So not even his family was surprised that he was accused, because a family, the first thing they're going to do is jump to the defense of their loved one until they can at least get some evidence to show them, hey, look, your loved one don't need you, going to bat for them because your loved one is a jacked up person. And it's quite likely, Rod, you are so Right. She probably either SA'd her own children or she allowed and facilitated someone else to do so. Because you have mothers like that. It is disgusting, but you have mothers like that who will know that their children are being assaulted and will allow it to happen for the sake of trying to keep a man. Or you have mothers who will actually give their children, they will give straight up permit it. They're not just turning the other cheek, they're looking on and they know what's going on. Either way, this is a very sad case, and I did want to bring this update because when I heard that the feds were not going to seek the death penalty, it really kind of threw me for a loop. Because if there was ever a crime worthy of the death penalty, this is it. I am glad. I'm not really a pro death penalty person for the simple fact that we have so many people who have been who have been exonerated posthumously, who have been found to be not guilty after spending so many decades on death row or in prison. So I'm not automatically a pro death penalty person. I think it's a case by case thing. But even if there ever was a case that was deserving of the death penalty, this is definitely one of them. Because just like the article said, this was a how dare you crime. How dare you violate this child? How dare you come in here and disturb this child's beautiful life, playing with her friends, enjoying a birthday party, to bring her to such an awful demise? How dare you? So I'm going to get off the soapbox and I'm going to get off here for a little while. I will see you guys at 4 o'clock. We're going to talk about Angel Nicole Overstreet. We're just going to go back over her case. It's been over a year since she went missing at the age of 3 months old. So we're just going to look at her case again to keep her name in the algorithm, to keep her name out there, keep her face out there, and keep her on people's minds. I will see you all at 4 o'clock. Bye.